we get an opportunity to go down and play a national champion. We got it up on their stadium, 16-game win streak. Great football team, talented, confident, fast in all spots. So it's going to be a great challenge for our kids when we find out where we are when it comes to playing top 25 teams. So, questions?
I was looking at some of the numbers from your game last week, and their quarterback, Elliott, had a lot of success, did a lot of work on early downs, first down, second down. You talk all the time, I mean, you got to stop the run. That's obviously a priority. How do you balance emphasizing that with the fact that, when you face a team like Central Florida where every down's a passing down, what I mean? It's not just third down. How do you balance, those two?
Yeah, I mean, they're rushing the ball for over 250. I don't even know what it is. And the same thing, we did not. The first thing is you got to try to make a team one-dimensional, so you know what you got to stop. When you're trying to stop the run and you don't, like you need to, even though we rushed for more yards than they did, but when you don't just dominate the run game defensively, it opens up where they can do anything they want to, and then that's when it's hard to defend anybody. If you want to stop the pass and stop the pass and let them run it. But you got to be good at something, and through the years it's been stopping the run, and we got to do a better job of stopping it. But they got enough speed on the field that you got to do it in the right way. So we got to find the right way to do it.
Now you talked about how tough it is to replicate with your scout team what they do offensively. How did your scout team do this week?
I think they did a pretty darn good job. At times, I think our coaches were more focused on coaching the scout teams, unfortunately, because you're trying to get the look for your kids, and then you coach the look off of the tape. That's the only part I didn't really like is you're so we put one guy's coaching receivers on this side, one guy's coaching receivers on this side. We got one coach that's coaching the right guard and right tackle, so he can quickly say, "Hey, you two do this," instead of trying to tell 8 guys what to do, and usually we have 2, maybe 3 guys telling an offense what to do. Our full-time coaches were coaching their offense, trying to get the look, and then we'll worry about what our defense looks like afterwards. Besides today we slowed the tempo down and just coached football like we'd like to. But it really takes you out of what you want to do. You want to coach your kids every play on the field. So that's kind of how we got practice done quickly, so we could, we were snapping the ball between, probably 8 and 15 seconds most of the time this week.
Does it limit how creative, I guess, for lack of a better word, you can do with your defense? I mean, this doesn't seem like the week that you're going to call 72 different coverages or something like that.
If you do, you're in big trouble. You really are, and that's why they do it. I mean, the advantage for their offense is they're going to try to keep people vanilla, and so they know where you are. They're blocking statues, and everybody would like to block statues if they have an opportunity to do that. So they keep you vanilla because you can't get too fancy. It's hard to get personnel out on the field. It's hard to do a lot of things because of the speed of the game. We just hope they get the call. It's like the beginning of practice today. I had Coach Hartley change and just make sure, him and Coach Partridge, Coach Hartley, Coach Partridge, and Archie Collins. We got 3 different signalers during the game. We'll rotate them, but they got to be dressed the same out there on the field just to make everything game-like for our kids.
Are you comfortable with not doing as much substituting in this game that you might because of that speed?
You're never comfortable, but if they sub, we sub. I mean, that's why, a couple weeks ago I got mad when they didn't give us a chance to sub. But when they sub, we have to take our advantage or our opportunity to sub. I mean, they're going to get tired too. But they're dictating, and you'll see some routes where this side will run real fast. These guys will stand around, very similar to Baylor. They don't run very far. It's because they can rest up. Then the next time these guys rest and these guys run, if that makes sense. I mean, they'll go right side, left side, as far as which is just, again, it's Baylor-like. It's what it is. So we'll sub when we can sub. We've got a plan, and we just got to execute the plan.
Will you have a need then to have a conversation with the officials before the game?
Always do. Just hope
Especially this week.
Yeah, I mean it's every week. I mean it's no different than last week or the week before. Maybe Georgia Tech, we didn't have to have that conversation. But anytime it's a tempo team, we talk about it, and you hope they, I mean, last week I told you that on Monday. They were terrific. They did a great job, and it was not that speed wasn't this speed. This is a total different ball game. It's totally different. You guys, like I said, don't blink or you'll miss a play.
Michael Salahuddin's sort of keeping us on our toes with different numbers, no name on the back of his jersey. I know Quadri and Darren are playing great, but is he someone that you guys want to keep as part of the puzzle, I guess, on offense?
It's those 4 games. I told him after 4 games, you're going to have to make us play you. So we'll see what you do with the ball in your hand. But we'll see what number he is this week. He'll have his name on the back of the jersey. We're not really trying to hide his name. I didn't know his name wasn't on the back of the jersey, to be honest with you, but I want his name on his jersey like everybody else. He's a good kid, and you know, again, that's the advantage of those 4 games is we're able to find a little niche for him to, you know, if it's 3 plays a game, 4 plays a game, it's going to be better when we lose 2 tailbacks this year, and we're preparing for the future. It gives the guy, you know, you're just happy, hey, he's held on to the ball. I mean, those are all things that are critical. You don't know how a guy's going to react in a game situation. That'll be an advantage for him going into next spring.
Speaking of that role, I mean, is that like a new concern for coaches now that like 4 games go by, the guy feels like he's played in them, but he's not playing enough, or he doesn't like how the season is going? Is that something that not worry about? You guys just have to take into account now?
You know, we're not going to take into account. We're going to try to keep treating our players like we do. I think Pitt's a great place to play. I think we treat our kids well. You know, and again, I'm not going to worry about the problems other people, you know, just hope we don't have that problem. But, you know, it's bound to happen at some point because, you know, they got so many people in their ears about you should be doing this, you should be getting this. And it's like, you know, only 11 guys get on the field. And that's a sad thing. When you're a healthy football team, which we are to this point, it's hard to get everybody the reps you want to. And usually it happens, you know, naturally. And, you know, and this year it hadn't happened naturally. So, you know, we're focused on what our guys have to do this weekend and making sure we have a good, you know, atmosphere here at the University of Pittsburgh.
I know you always say the past doesn't matter, but
You're going to give me some other stat?
Well, no. Will you be playing the Miami Clemson card to your players this week, saying you did it before, you can do it again?
Not really. I mean, I didn't play it, you know, against Miami about Clemson. We really didn't talk about it much, to be honest with you, or even at all. I mean, you know, every week is a big game. You know, they don't have a, you know, easy game left on the schedule. They're not there. Every week is that same game, you know, whether they're ranked or not ranked. So no, we haven't played that card.
In North Carolina's first 2 games, Pat, they had gotten 36 points before getting 38 against you all.
You said North Carolina's offense had got 36?
They got 36 in their first 2 games against East Carolina and Cal before getting 38 against you all. Given those struggles against that team, as a coach, what gives you hope or belief that your defense can perform better against a much better offense?
You know, are they much better? You know, I don't know. I mean, I think North Carolina's pretty good. I mean, you know, it's hard to say this offense is better than that offense. I mean, they got some good players. You walk out on the field, look at what North Carolina looks like on the field. You know, I just heard some of the guys say that number 97 for North Carolina, that's the biggest guy I ever played against. I mean, they're a good football team, and they're recruiting at a high level as well. So, you know, who's better? You know, I don't know. We'll find out after the game. But, you know, every week is a different week. And like I said, sometimes you can get fat and happy and think that you've arrived. And that's why, you know, I referred to, you know, Jerry's question about, is this the best defense? I mean, it's like, really? You get evaluated week by week. Nobody cares what you did at Georgia Tech. Nobody. And I've said that for years as a defensive coordinator. You get evaluated week by week. And last week was last week. Is that the best football we've played? I doubt it. You know, our best football is ahead of us. And just because maybe we didn't play as good as we'd like to, you know, give North Carolina some credit. But this is a new week. And sometimes, guys, you know, we talk about handling adversity, right? And then we'll also talk about handling success. How well did we handle success? I mean, you walk around and you shut out Georgia Tech in the first half. Everybody's patting you on the butt, saying, "Hey, you guys are great. Great comeback. Great bounce back. Great bounce back." And your head starts to bounce like that. So, you know, what is it? I mean, who are those kids? Who are they? To me, it's weekly. It's weekly. You get evaluated, and that's where the hope is right there. It's a weekly deal, and whether they're better or not, then, you know, even if they're better skill-wise and athletically, are they better up front? Or you know, what is the whole? You know, it's the whole package. So every week's different. It really is.
You got 4 or 5 guys from the Orlando area. What's it mean for those guys to be able to play a game down there? And I guess, is that sort of one of the advantages to playing a non-conference game in an area that you do recruit heavily? You can kind of hold that up for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not something that we're saying, hey, you know, come to Pitt because we're playing down there. But it means a lot to those guys that get to go back home. You know, Lopes will be the honorary captain this week, game captain, I should call it. You know, this week, I think he's excited about it. I think our guys were excited. You know, they picked him because he plays a lot of emotion and has had a great year for us so far. So he's a guy that will play with a little bit more emotion down there, going in his backyard. I'm sure he'll have more family there. So I think it means something when, you know, you go back and there's maybe more of your friends and family can play, but you know, it's another game. Got to be prepared.
How's Jalen Twyman looked? He hasn't gotten a ton of snaps, but is he showing you some flashes?
You know, Jalen did some good things last week, and it's like Coach Partridge said, and really every one of our coaches say every week. You get an opportunity to go out there and play. It's hard to get 11 guys out there, so you get an opportunity to play. You got to make some things happen, and Jalen made some things happen last week, and he deserves more playing time. So it's one of those things. You get an opportunity, take advantage of your opportunity. You get an opportunity, and all of a sudden you don't play so well. It's hard to put you back out there again. So Jalen, he's deserves more reps.
Pat, over the years, before you got here, Pitt had trouble with mobile quarterbacks like this guy is. Do you feel the way you recruited in the last few years that you're more comfortable or more able to take care of a quarterback like that?
You're never comfortable. I mean, it just brings another dimension to the football game. I mean, he can hand it off, he can throw it, and then all of a sudden he can scramble and make plays with his feet, and he'll have some quarterback runs. He likes to run the football. They like to put the ball in his hands. So, you're never feeling comfortable at it because, it's just one arm tackle away from missing that guy because he can make you miss.
But is your roster now more suited for a guy like that?
I take Juan Price back right now. I mean, is it suited? I don't know. I mean, it's all. And that would be disrespecting Juan Price and some of the other good players that we've had on this team, Shakir Soto. Those guys are good players too. So I can't say that.
Do you tell the guys that, in terms of where UCF is sort of in the national picture, that like a game like this, they're sort of chomping at the bit to play a Power 5 team, sort of try to prove themselves and stuff like that?
Not in so many words that I've mentioned that, but we know who they played, we know who we played, and I'm sure they're going to get fired up for the game too. It's not a rivalry game, but they get a chance to bring an ACC team into their own house, and I'm sure they're going to want to go out and play against Power 5 conference.
You guys are the lucky ones, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Pat, you mentioned 4 games. This would be 5 for Shockey. Are you expecting him to play?
Yes. Yeah, he's playing. He's playing the whole year.
Pat, are you happy with the way your secondary is going to be able to match up with Central Florida's guys? Because it seemed like North Carolina, those guys in the right position, just not making tackles or plays.
Yeah. Again, not necessarily even in the right position. I mean, you say that, and I'd go back to saying they're not. I mean, it looks like they are, but they aren't. And again, it goes down to that perfect alignment versus the tempo. We focus a lot on getting lined up, and this week it's going to be even faster. So it's attention to those details. But I feel good going into every game. We're going to find out how we match up against our guys. You never played against them before, so you don't know really who they are yet. So we'll find out in good time. That's for sure.
Coach, thank you very much.
You good?